Hey y'all, hey beautiful souls. So I wanted to come and I did get permission from the Lord to share this with y'all. And disclaimer, I don't have anything, but this is a piece of my testimony to share with the young lady or anyone who runs across this video to be careful about who you trust, to be careful about who you date and who you decide to lay with. In my early 20s, maybe even mid 20s, I can remember a time. I don't know about y'all, but they used to have this thing. So back up. Back in high school, one of my friends introduced me to what they used to have like Nightline, like the phone chat line, right? Mind you, in high school, I'm 16, if 17, if that. And I would, of course, meet guys on there. And back then it seemed harmless. But when I think about the things that I used to do, like, my God, like, you really kept me through a lot of stuff. So, anyway, fast forward, I kind of got addicted to that lifestyle. And this is why I wrote my books, talking about my traumas and the things that happened to me in life. Because if you don't heal your traumas, you'll continue to carry them and carry them. But being that young, I didn't understand, half of my healing, basically my healing journey had not begun at this point. So I met a guy and he was much older than me. I think he was like, if not in his mid 30s, probably late 30s. I was much younger. I always liked older men and still do. But and I'm not ashamed to tell this story, but it needs to be told so that it can help the next person. So, and the Lord brought it back to my memory. Um I dated this guy for roughly a year, maybe a little bit more. And we spent some time together. We lived together. And there was a point where my mother had got sick. And I had to move back home and take care of my mom. And he was there with me. And he would help me with my mom, after her surgery and different things like that. And he would cook, he would clean, he would do all of these things, right? And mind you, I didn't know that this person had been incarcerated. Well, I might have knew that this person had been incarcerated because he used to talk about having a caseworker. He used to always say, I need to go and see my caseworker. And I'm like, when you think about a caseworker, you think about probation and stuff. Mind you, I'm still pretty young. I don't know I'm not questioning what he's talking about, and I don't know what he's talking about. And so back then I did used to smoke, very young, and I'm talking about the green stuff. And I could just remember there would be times he would cook and he wouldn't eat, and I'm like, you cooked, cooked all this food, you're not gonna eat. And this would happen on multiple, like I said, I spent a lot of time with this guy, and we was always together. And on multiple occasions, he never really ate unless he smoked. And of course, when you smoke, it give you the munchies. So he'd be like, I gotta smoke first. I'm naive. I'm thinking, okay, like, yeah, you can't smoke, or you can't eat until you smoke. So one day we got into an altercation, and I had never seen the side of this person. He ended up putting his hands on me, and he was just like very crazy, like went crazy. And I just called the police, and he went to jail. And so maybe like within that same week, his caseworker calls me, and she would come to where, at the time where my mom lived at. And she would visit him, but he would go and have the visits with her alone. And she called me one day and she was like, Sierra, I need to talk to you. She was like, the guy that you were dating, he was HIV positive, right? And I'm like, HIV positive? Like, how come he never told me this? And she was like, I'm going to come by there. I'm going to have a talk with you. We sit in the car. She talked to me. I was young. She was like, you beautiful. You don't need to be dealing with this person. He had told the caseworker that I knew about his situation and that I was okay with it. Like, I knew about his sickness and everything. And she was like, I need to test you right now. And so she tested me. I guess that's probably around the time the rapid test first came out. And she was like, every year I need you to go down to Fort Worth because we here in the DFW. And she was like, I need you to go and get tested because a disease like that can take 8 years to show up in your system. So I still do regularly get tested, and thank God I never had it. I'm negative, never caught it. But I'm sharing this again, like I said in the beginning. This is a piece of my testimony. I'm not ashamed. I don't care what y'all get in my comments and say, but this is the reason why a lot of people are going through what they're going through, because people aren't telling their testimonies. The enemy wants you to be quiet about the things that you went through. The enemy wants you to just be out here living in this reckless culture of turning up and sleeping with everybody, having babies, this and that. Like, I'm telling y'all the things that I could go, man, if we talked about, I'm gonna have to, if we talked about all the stuff that I used to do as a youngin', when I didn't have no mind out here, when I didn't care, when I was thinking my family and my parents was hating on me, like, oh, they don't want me to have no boyfriend, when really they was trying to protect me from a lot of stuff. Like, when I see young girls, I be like, look, little mama, I know you out here turning up and having fun, but this is what this can cost you. And it's so many, especially black women and women in general, has it costed them. And I'm just one of those people that I have to have the favor of God. I know I got the favor of God up on my life for him to keep me through a situation like that. Because people, that was, I'm 38. If I was in my early 20s, we talking almost close to 20 years ago. People are not disclosing their statuses anymore. People are not taking prep. People are not getting tested. A lot of people don't even know that they have it, but this person knew that they have it. But like I was saying, this is why people are going through things, because people are afraid and ashamed of what somebody else gonna say about their testimony. Not me. The Lord said, I said, Lord, can I tell them this? He's like, yeah, somebody gonna run across this video and they need to hear this. So before you make that decision, you might have just met a guy, you been talking to a guy, y'all out here doing it unprotected, whatever, you scared to say, hey babe, before I lay with you, let's go take a test. Like, y'all first date could be a test. I'm celibate, but if I meet a guy, when was the last time you updated your my chart? Can we go together and get tested? Because I can disclose my status. You will know that I'm negative. Can I know that you're negative? Can I know that you don't have anything? So, we get caught up on looks. We get caught up on materials. And it ends up costing us our souls. It ends up costing us our lives. And we don't have to do that. And it doesn't have to be like that if more people will be upfront about the things that they've experienced or the things that they've been through without feeling like they'll be judged. This is the work of being a true Christian. This is the work of helping our younger generation. Now, we talk about the younger generation and how wild they is and how sad they is, but ain't none of us trying to help them. And so we are saved through the power of our testimony, and others are saved through the power of our testimony. It not only saves us for telling it, but it saves somebody else. So if you got some youngins in your life, talk to them, let them know what it is out here. Especially if you got some little girls out here, if you got some boys out here who probably been essayed, girls who been essayed, molested, all these things, because this is where it starts. Like, the lifestyle I chased, my promiscuity came from the things that happened to me as a kid, because I didn't know how to treat myself. I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know how to heal. And here I am, close to 40, still in my healing journey, which I'm very thankful about. But if we could teach our kids early and make them comfortable enough to talk to us about things and have them to be like, hey, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not giving my body to you. I'm not laying with you. I don't know you like that. A lot of things could be prevented. I got 2 little nieces. I got a bunch of little nieces because my daddy got 12 kids. But the 2 that's close to me, we don't play them kind of games. When TT, why we talking about that? Because nobody talked about it with me. Nobody sat me down and said, hey, this is what can happen to you. I only got the consequences of after I did something. So save your kids, man, if you can have that conversation with them to teach them not to be so easy out here. And this video is coming to an end. My time is coming up. And I just want to say, God is good. God is good. If you can save yourself, even if it's to marriage, God will send you the right person. You don't have to be out here being desperate, meeting these people online and don't know what you're getting yourself into. Get tested. Be safe out here. If you are doing what you're doing, wrap it up. But my advice would be to don't do it at all. Period. Okay, bye y'all.